Alright, so I'm in a 2003 Buick Regal, and the headlights are not coming on. It's not a fuse, it's actually the wiring inside this, believe it or not. Not this, but your actual turn signal switch. So I got a new one off eBay. It was like 50 bucks. Alright, that's the unit and the wiring. Like I said, I don't know if it's in the wiring or if it's in this actual switch itself, but got to change that. So we can start out by taking this panel off here, which is underneath right there. There's a couple of screws right there and right there, and then the top part just unclips, as you can see there, and there. Those clips go in up there and over there. Okay, so that is off. Toss that. Now we've got to get this plate off right here. This plate and all the way there. There's four screws to get that off, which I've already undone. And then you've also now, of course, got to take this all apart right here. You've got to take the housing off of your steering column. The screws are underneath. So go ahead and do that. I'm just going to take this off. Let's see if I can get this thing off. Must be more screws. I'll get back to you. Alright, to get this plate off, we did 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Of course, you can't see it now because of the light. There you go. Now we've got 4 more. There's bolts in there. Let's see if you can see these. Bam, you can just see that. That is a 10 millimeter. So we can use this hole and that hole, and then we can also go in from here underneath there and there. So undo those. All right, so we got 4 of these out, and this whole plate, which was under there, just dropped right out. There you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it just drops right out. So you can put that aside. All right, so our big plate is off. Now I've taken the screws out from under here, so you want to pull those out. Now you've got to get your tilt lever thingy out. So that just pulls out. Let me see if I can grab that. Oh, might need a little bit of persuasion here with a screwdriver. It's hard to hold the camera, do this at the same time. Jeez Louise. I need a pair of pliers, I think. There we go. Boom. There it is. Sorry about that. And there it is. Alright. Now, pull this apart. Now comes the fun. Try and get this off and this off without ruining anything. Alright, well, I've got the bottom off. I pulled on the bottom and it just came right off. So that part seems to be easy enough. The top part, I think, is going to be the hard part. Okay, when you're pulling off the bottom, be careful, because the bottom is what has to come off first. So pull down on the front of it. Now you can see that it clips in here and it clips in over here. Okay, there's one of the clips there, so it actually clips onto that. That's the part. That's the top part. This one, I actually broke it off. I've had this off before, so I broke it off, not today, but last time. But yeah, so just be careful of that. So you'll slip it down and then pull it out that way. Now, the top part. I believe that this pops off as well. I believe that you can pull this right off. Yep, it does, just like that, man. Okay, that comes off. And now I will try and get it around the ignition switch. That's gonna be fun. Okay, so I just realized that also clips in the front. This is the top. There's a tab there. Okay. And this is the bottom section. If you look at the bottom section, you can see where that tab right there actually locks into that little side there. Whoops. And that side there. Now I managed to get it off without breaking it. So that's good. This section here, I had to push towards the front of the car to get it out from underneath the actual steering wheel. You can see I've been in there before with a screwdriver. I believe that was to put it back in. I had to kind of pry it back in. But anyways, so I've got it up part way, and I'm going to keep going. Okay, I got this off no problem. And I believe that is because I've had it off before and I've broken, I may have broken some of the tabs, but it just came right out for me this time. So I've got that off. That's what it looks like. That just came right off. So now we are down to this. I have actually changed this before. I changed this probably 5 years ago. It lasted me about 5 years. The last time I changed it was not because I didn't have any headlights. It was because, well, it was actually cracked. This had broken off from the previous owner. So I decided to just order one and switched it up. I didn't realize it was actually a GM problem that these needed to be changed apparently every 5 years. So I will go ahead and change this. I'll let you know. Oh, I can already see a screw right on top there. Let me get my light here. There's a Torx screw right there. Where's my light? Sorry about that. There's a Torx screw right there. You can see it. Alrighty. Alright, so you've got that one Torx on the top, like I was showing you. Then you have another Torx right there. Yep, right in there. See it? Now the only way you're going to get in there is with one of these. It's a T25, by the way. And that fits. Well, you can't see it. It fits right in there. But you have to get one of these because you are not going to get a screwdriver in there and you're not going to get a socket in there. It's just too tight. So you get yourself a set like this and bam. So you can see I am getting it undone. That one and the top one. Did I mention that you've got to undo your battery before this? Yeah, you want to disconnect your battery so there's no power running to anything, including the airbag, which is right here. Yeah, you don't want that. Also, if you do need to tilt your steering while you're working on it, you've got this button off. You can always put this back in. You can always put it back in while you're working on it. Or just take your finger, hold your steering wheel, take your other finger, push on this, and that does your that's your tilt. All right, I got those two nuts out. T25. You can see they're not very long at all. All right, now this just pops off. Pull up, boom, and there you go. Let's get a better picture of it, just hanging there. And now, ready to be swapped out with the new one. But I've got to go down and change the, pull the wiring for it. So follow your wiring down and do that. By the way, this is the new one, and just to show you the length of the wire. It's not very long, just so you know how far you gotta go when you're searching for these wires. So you've got 1, 2, and 3. There's 3 different connections that you've got to undo and then redo. Assuming they are all used, I will find out, but that seems to be it. And this, of course, was nice and easy. Alright, well, if we follow the wires here, you can see that, I'm trying to get my light to stay. Come on. There we go. All right, you can see this one on my car anyways is not used. This is a 03 Buick Regal LS. That's not used. This wiring harness goes down under there, and you can see one goes in the top and one goes in the bottom. Okay, let's get right in there. And look, you can see it's the top one and it's the bottom one. Now, if we look at the new wiring harness, let's just see. Look at the new wiring harness and you can see that there is a little, see how there's a little bit of a, it's a little higher right there. So that's obviously where it clips in, where you need to unclip it. And same with the other one. You've got a black, you've got a gray, and they both have that little, basically a little lip there where it clips in. So yeah, probably pry it with a little screwdriver and it'll pop right out. Okay, well, actually, if you look in there at the wiring harness, let's see if this will pick it up. There, well, you can't really see it. There, all you can see is shiny gold. There's a bolt in there that needs to come undone. It is a, I've got mine here, 9/32 with an extension, and I will undo that, and that will undo the whole thing. Okay, just undid this with that bolt, and you can see where it came from in there. And now we are going to pull out this bottom and this top. Those are the ones that are going to be changed with the new one. There is a clip right here, very easy to undo and reuse. So you might think that you pull this wiring that way, but what you actually do is I put a screwdriver onto here, just pried up that little thing that I was showing you, and you actually push it out. Look at, bam. So it slides in from the back, goes in at the back and slides in, and then that little tab locks it in place. Bang. So it cannot pull out. So that actually, GM actually thought of something that made sense, even though they couldn't get it right. So now I'll do the same thing with the bottom. I'll put a screwdriver between the two, just pry it, and then push this, you know, push it that way to get it disconnected.